Okay, we are ready to go. Hello, welcome everybody on this presentation tonight here via live stream, and I have to still go on live on my broadcast.
The broadcast is now starting.
Right.
All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome everybody. Good evening to all of you. This is Claudia here from Germany, and I am with the founder and CEO of Utopian Global on the call today live from Dubai. I welcome everybody on this presentation tonight. I hope that you can all hear me loud and clearly. We're going to go in the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes over the presentation. I know there's a lot of new people on the call, which is really great. So fantastic of you to be here. We're also streaming it on YouTube live and as well as in the different groups. So I'm just making right now sure before we get started that we are actually really live here. So just bear with me. Yes, we are. Okay, good. Fantastic. All right. Well, so good evening, everybody. I know you to take your busy time out to be here on this call. Some of you wondering, well, what are you invited to? You don't really know anything yet about it. Well, let me explain. And of course, we have a lot of people with us here tonight, which either we have met through live events, met through Zoom calls, or even some of you, we know each other many, many years. So why am I here today presenting for you? Well, first of all, I was introduced to this great company, to this amazing owner who's on the call tonight, Bill Rowell, many, many years ago. And why? Well, I was working two jobs, worked as a manager in the morning in a large billion-dollar company. And in the evening, I managed a very, very great star restaurant, in fact, one of the most renowned in Germany, yet was always looking for a better way and better finances and obviously to have a better life. And so I was introduced to building a business online to actually having a business which I can take wherever I want, where I have no overheads, where I could actually work from wherever I wanted to work and start part-time and eventually, of course, build a really great full-time business. So I really liked the concept, the idea when Bill introduced me to owning and ownership of precious metals, when he introduced me to really what it means actually to be financial free, because he had achieved it. And yet I was, of course, striving to have that. And I was so fascinated by it that I said, like, you look, I'm sick and tired what I was doing. I want to do something else. And so long and behold, here I am today for you presenting this great opportunity about Utopian Global real assets, the ownership of real assets, the ownership of real income producing assets, how you can get hold of it and obviously create income part-time, and if you like, of course, full-time, so that you can have a better life. So this is what we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to just very quickly play a short video. So I hope that you can all hear this video. I'm going to just play in a second.
How would you like to be your own boss? Be able to plan your own time and be in control of every minute of your life? Well, it's very possible. And with Utopian Global, you can achieve it as quick as you snap your fingers. The Utopian Global ecosystem allows you to multiply your income exponentially and diversify your assets by converting them into precious metals like gold and silver. This helps you eliminate the risk of inflation and devaluation associated with fiat currency. After all, if it's good enough for governments and central banks to hold their reserves in gold, then why shouldn't you? Besides the gold and silver, we also give you the possibility to participate in STORE. STORE, Sustainable Technology and Resource Holdings, is backed by real assets that power the world. By owning STORE, you get to enjoy the rewards from the income generated by the STORE assets. These assets include legacy energy resources in the Raccoon Bend Field located in Texas, USA. Our second phase is addressing the plastic crisis and creating opportunity with Polystream Technologies Plastics to Fuel process. The production, proliferation, and disposal of single-use plastics is a crisis of truly global proportion. That's not all. With our lucrative partners program, you can earn rewards and commissions when you share our message and services with others, as well as qualify for bonuses such as luxury travel and paid holidays. Our affiliates also get premium wealth education and coaching, as well as access to webinars and marketing materials. You don't have to break the bank to start with Utopian Global. With as low as €99, you can become an independent business owner and start increasing your income by joining our global network. Remember, everyone you spread the word about Utopian Global to results in you multiplying your own assets, doing good for the planet, and increasing your payouts. Don't forget to visit our website at utopianglobal.com to learn more. The time to get in is now. Utopian Global. Real assets, real income, real lifestyle.
Absolutely. So this is correct. This is what we're going to present to you now so that you can make an informed decision if this is something which could interest and help you. So what are some of the challenges most people face today? Well, no money, no savings, live paycheck to paycheck. In fact, a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are, because of this crisis we are in, obviously, their jobs no longer exist. There's even whole entire industry which are going to be no more anymore. And then, of course, we have high student loans. We have personal credit card debt, which is actually now surpassing 1 trillion. And most people actually have a hard time just pay back the interest. Then we have, of course, artificial intelligence, which is automating and eliminating, as per Forbes article, which just came out, about 40% of the jobs within the next 15 years. So if you think your job will be safe, you may think different and you may think twice. So 85% of people who are still at work, most of them, they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled at work. And that is pretty sad. So if you ever felt like you were meant for more, how would you actually feel if you had control of your life? If you could do anything you really would like to do? What if there was a way for you to actually build a better life? A life where, you experience more happiness and more fulfillment. If presented with the right opportunity, what area of your life would you actually like to better? Would it be your finances? Would it be time? Would it be lifestyle? Well, I remember very vividly when I got started, I wanted to have more money, but I also needed urgently more time. And certainly because I wanted to have a better lifestyle. And better lifestyle doesn't necessarily mean more money. Some people are making great money in their profession. They just do not have any time because all day long they're at office or at home office. So whatever that means for you. So what's your financial game plan? Work more at your job? Trade time for money which is losing value, become self-employed and earn more, but have less time, or become a business owner and own a system that works for you. That's what we're going to show you, because with Utopian Global, you now have the power to instantly build and grow wealth for an easy platform that protects everyone's future with a medium of exchange that has literally stood the test of the time, which is, of course, silver and gold. And a platform where you can earn from residual rewards from income-producing assets, real assets. A platform where you get paid for something you anyway do for free. And that is, you sharing. It's that simple. We provide the e-commerce marketing platform, and you simply do the sharing. As Bill Gates, so many years ago, I don't know when he said this, but this was many, many years ago. If your business is not on the internet, then you will be out of business. And let's face it, how many moms and pops, how many hairdressers, how many small shop owners, when their business was closed now, and they're on lockdown, and some are still, have been thinking about building a business online, because they have been condemned, of course, at their homes. I mean, I still have many of my friends. They're in different parts of the world we're still under lockdown. They still cannot go out. They cannot go out twice a week for 1 hour. If you have the right phone code of your identity, of course, this is like Argentina, countries, Panama, and so on. And this is still very much a truth. So you're already on your phone most of the day. Well, why not actually getting paid for it? You see, did you know that the average person spends 11 hours and 6 minutes every day in front of the screen? I mean, the social sharing economy, because of socially sharing something, is now growing 1 billion every single day. I wonder if 1 year from now, I'm going to say what's 10 billion per day, because it's really, really big. Because let's face it, what did most people do in the lockdown? They ordered stuff, they ordered food, they ordered all kinds of stuff online. In fact, I was recently talking to my friend in Argentina, and she said, Argentina is very much still a cash economy. So people go into their mom and pop shops, but they're not anymore allowed till September, believe it or not. So the moms and pops and their granddaddies and grandmoms, they had to learn how to order on internet because otherwise they wouldn't get food on the table. So those are real facts. In fact, when we look at some stats, like Nike has more than 110 million Instagram followers. What does it mean? Well, of course, they're marketing their brand. Of course, this is how they attract more customers and clients. What if you could do that? You see, when we look at earning and generating money, and I have always been told, like most people, kid, get a good education, get good grades, that you have a great career, that you can work in an amazing company and make good money. Well, I did all that. But that didn't make me wealthy. You see, I learned, well, okay, this is great. It's important to have an education. Absolutely, yes. But it doesn't mean that you're going to make a lot of money. It doesn't mean that you will be in this job until you die. It doesn't mean that you're going to build a great lifestyle. It doesn't mean that. So in fact, most people nowadays, I had yesterday a fantastic conversation with a wonderful mother of a 16-year-old. And she said, well, yeah, she remembers the time when only one family member needed to work and they could all have a good life. Well, now this is not anymore the case. 2 people are working and they are struggling to get by. You see, 60% of the people, they work for someone. They're building someone else's dream, not their own. 35% who work for themselves, who, all their way of thinking is of getting an own small shop, like owning something. So you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be really the small shop owner, but still you're trading your time for money. You have no leverage, meaning you're sick, you're going to go on holiday, you have no pay. And see, most of the people are in debt. This is nothing bad. This is nothing wrong. I also have been there. 95% of the people are there, but they're only making or generating 5% of the wealth. Yet, of course, when you become a business owner and an investor, you are actually now sharing in 95% of the wealth which is generated. In fact, this is really what we want to teach you and show you, because again, we don't know when, of course, Corona is coming back. We don't know when a lockdown is coming back. The economy is in a pretty bad shape. So you better do something. You better have a plan B. See, there's 2 types of income. One, of course, is labor-based and one is asset-based. So labor-based is where most people are in. They trade time for money, which is continuously losing value. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you. And then, of course, there's a way to have an asset-based income. See, when you, of course, get involved with Utopian Global, be it as a customer or be it as a business owner, you will have an asset-based income. How is that? Isn't that great? I'm going to show you that as well. So Utopian Global, the ecosystem is all about helping you to have ownership in real assets. And of course, that you can generate real income and have a better lifestyle. And we do that through, of course, Gold or Silver. Gold or Silver is the foundation, is the vehicle. It is your safe haven. It's your insurance policy, your hedge against inflation. And we always talk about Gold or Silver very in depth. Why? Well, because it's key, and unfortunately that knowledge has been lost. And I mean, you listen to Ray Dalio, the largest hedge fund manager. Well, he has his clients where he's looking after their wealth, 7 point something of their portfolio into gold. Well, why? Because it's your insurance policy, especially in times right now when they do just absolutely crazy, outrageous money printing. We help you get access to the best gold or silver. Store, well, we have a product which we market, which is of course Store. It's actually a company, stands for Sustainable Technology and Resource Holdings, founded by experts, people which are having an immense knowledge in the industry of minerals, mining, precious metals, oil, gas, all kinds which produce energy. And we, through Utopian Global, marketing the products and services, so marketing Store to raise funds so that, of course, a Store then can buy great assets and you can have a great benefit from that. We have a great educational platform where you learn from top level coaches. You see, I would never be able to have achieved financial freedom. I would have never be able to have a business online. Wouldn't it have been through the renewing of my mind, through the change? Because my education was, kid, get a good job, get good grades first, go to university, get a good job. Well, yeah, but it didn't bring me that wealth, you see. So really through renewing my mind and through changing my belief system, because let's face it, most people are taught to be, well, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, you're not Rockefeller. Well, who do you think you are? Well, you're not from that. So we get all these things telling us all day long. I mean, my families did that to me. So we got to change that, because let's face it, we have pretty great young entrepreneurs, and they, didn't necessarily do what, of course, they have been told, and they achieved amazing success. So education is important, meaning like that you get a great school education, but an education when it comes to alternative, different mindset, coaching, wealth, finances, gold, silver, really, really key. Because this is what you need in this world, and as well marketing. Now, our e-commerce platform is really great, because let's face it, you get a business in a box where when you have to build your own marketing platform, buy a website, host a website, do all these things, maybe have somebody designing it. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You have here business in a box, which could literally just buy just basically for 99 euro. I mean, that's like a dinner, not even a great dinner here in Germany where I am. So you get the access, everything built for you through our e-commerce platform. Really, really cool. So Utopian Global is a company which is ever growing and expanding. In fact, so we are really driven to develop cutting edge products and services in high demand markets, so that we all together capitalize on current global economic trends, very key, and future emerging markets. Gold, well, it's a $170 billion industry. Silver, it's a little bit smaller, 20 billion, should be way bigger, because when you think about where silver is all needed and used. Oil, 1.7 trillion, blockchain, 265 billion digital assets. And of course, the social sharing industry, as I said, it's just growing by 1 billion a day. So what's next? Lots of things. And maybe our founder is going to tell us a little bit more when I finish with this presentation. So we are all here about helping your money work for you instead you're working for it. See, gold, key. And you got to understand it. Gold has outperformed all major currencies over time. It's a hedge against inflation. You held on to your British pound. Well, in 20 years, if you held on instead of gold, you actually outdid the British pound of 675%. Most people don't know that. They don't have that information. When you look at the US average home price, 1971. Now, this is before I was born, but it is $25,000 a house would cost you, an average size house. Well, also in 1971, the average size house did cost you 720 ounces of gold. Okay. Now in 2020, the average size house cost $280,000. Yeah. But only 160 ounces of gold. How come that you need way more dollars, but way less gold? Because your money is losing value. We can go to same United Kingdom. We have 71, 6,000 pounds average size house, 71, 375 ounces of gold you needed to buy it. 2020, 480,000 pounds, an average size house, yet less ounces of gold, 340 ounces of gold. Same deal, you can do it in any currency. You see, the same deal for silver. Silver has outperformed all major currencies. Silver is more volatile because it's also 50% industrial usage. Now, if you think about Corona right now and masks, well, those medical masks, they actually contain silver. If we think of, and I wish that we all go green, let's face it, I'm a bike rider. And every day I have to pass by those cars, they stink, and those motorcycles, and they stink. And I don't like it. I rather have electric cars driving because they don't stink, right? But what do we need for those batteries? We need silver. And we need lots of silver. Your phone, your computer, everything we really can think of in gadgets, it has silver and contains silver. So the silver demand is so much going to grow as we grow as a population. And yet, of course, silver is still very much undervalued. So the potential is just amazing, the upside. And what you get here with and through Utopian Global is pretty simple. You get a platform where Utopian Global uniquely integrates physical gold and silver into the digital worlds. You can save in investment grade gold and silver. You can buy, sell it, and store it. You enjoy the lowest gold and silver prices. And when you are a customer, our affordable fees mean that we sell gold at the lowest prices, and you can prove it. And you can redeem as well, meaning you can have it shipped, if you ship to your country, of course, from as little as 1 gram, because it's not fractionized. It's actually there. The company is actually buying physical stuff, the physical gold and silver. And of course, you can have it also converted in those beautiful collectibles or just bullion bars if you wish to do so. So we really make gold and silver savings easy. We have an easy platform, 24/7 access, easy liquidation. You have LBMA good delivery. We have secure private LBM vaulting with Loomis International. Just Google Loomis. Who is Loomis? And you will see it's one of the largest storage facilities worldwide. Google the LBMA good delivery. Google it. And Google of course, gold, where our gold comes from, Argo Horias. It's the largest LBMA good delivery refinery. In fact, it's a referee refinery who certifies other refineries. So with us, of course, you have fully secured gold or silver because you deserve free, transparent, and unlimited access to your assets. Now, Store is an equity platform. So what we do is, through the network, we raise funds. Those funds then Store and their knowledgeable team, they search and they evaluate and they buy those assets. And those assets, they generate revenue, and the revenue is actually then be paid for its holders. In fact, Mike Milio, our lawyer, and he's also doing a lot of stuff on the digital world, on the blockchain world, he says we are probably one of the 5% of companies who actually not just had the idea, but actually executed on the idea, actually own the assets. And this is a great achievement, of course. So the asset we own is actually in Texas. It is an oil producing field, and it's in place since 90 years, and we own 12% of it. We could, of course, buy it through the collection of the funds, through the crowdfunding, through the network. And of course, everybody who owns Store today is actually going to be benefiting very long term, because we have proven reserves for 25 years from this oil field, meaning producing oil. That is fantastic, proven reserves in oil and natural resources. You always have the 3 Ps, that is proven, that means it's actually there. Then you have it possible and probable. And this field produces 750 barrels a day. Very soon, because we are now owning it almost 1 year, very soon the first payments will start to commence, which is really, really fantastic. And Bill will touch on that probably, or Ryan Messer when he comes on a call in a later presentation, hopefully this month. So Store, great project. And this is only the, of course, initiation, because we only launched with this project in late 2018. So we launched with the intellectual property, with a team, with the people on board, but we didn't have the assets. We didn't have the funds yet to buy the assets. And then eventually, of course, we collected the funds, we purchased the first small assets, different assets in Mississippi and in Louisiana. And then eventually we could buy on the 1st of August in 2019 the Texas asset, and we could actually then take the revenues and reinvest those into more production and into repairing old wells. And of course, the project in such, we have many things which we can, of course, put into this project, from mineral mining, mineral reclamation to polystyrene, plastic recycling. So there's lots of things on the plate. All that requires, of course, more funds so that we can execute on them. So we eventually can launch on an exchange. And we have an estimated target of €4, of course, depending supply and demand, depending what we have done, of course, with the project. So far, we have done very well. So the company owner of Utopian Global is Bill Rowley, who's on the call here today, successful entrepreneur. I met him, again, when I was in the rat race. This is when he introduced me to gold and silver, when he introduced me to the renewing of my mind, coaching and personal development. And I knew everything Bill touched. Basically, he literally turned into gold. And yes, he's there with a gold bar in his hand. So very successful entrepreneur. And the team off store, really great guys. I mean, you have it headed up by Ryan Messer. He's the founder and the CEO, 2 decades in oil and gas. Really great. It brings 2 companies from initial, of course, IPO to the stock market launch. So very knowledgeable. And his team of people, especially, of course, Philip Judge, who's the original co-founder of Utopian Global many years back when it was Joseph Valve Systems in the gold market. Very knowledgeable, owns a precious metals fund himself, an ETF physical backed by Sharia law approved. So third generation from mining. His parents, also his father, he was born in Kenya and owned gold mines. His grandfather did own gold mines in Rhodesia. So you have heavy hitters here on the team. Why would they be on the team? Because they really like the project we have and they are helping here. So if now whatever you saw, you say, well, sounds interesting. I want to know more. How can I get started? Well, very simple. Most people start as customers. Why? Well, they want to buy gold and silver because they get it. We have the best platform, easy liquidable. Anytime they need, they can sell back. If they want to cash out, very simple. Even if they want to cash out and get Bitcoin, very simple. They sell it, get Bitcoin. Really great. So we have customers since literally 13 years plus here on the call. And this is fantastic as well. Good statement. And of course, store. You want to own store. Why? Well, because you want to benefit from the income which store is producing. Or you do like me, choose to be your own boss. And as Robert Kiyosaki, one of course my idols as well, because I learned so much of his information, his education. As he says, the richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else is trained to look for work. And that couldn't be far from the truth. So with Utopian Global, it's a simple financial rewards program to share and earn. That's what I said. You are anywhere on your phone every day long. Well, why not getting paid for it? You see, we have a simple process, a simple financial rewards program to share and earn in 3 steps for a low brand ambassador business ownership entry package, including products, of course, in the kit, and a €50 monthly asset accumulation plan. You can start your own business. Step 1, start, become an ambassador, affiliate, meaning like a brand ambassador, marketing the brand. Get your gold, silver, or the store. Be on a €50 monthly ownership and make a retail commission from whatever you sell. Step 2, become a business builder. Decide you, besides the customer, you also want to help people, of course, start with this business. So you start building. Now you're earning more commissions, different ways, uni-level commissions. And now you become a pro builder and you really decide to step it up a notch and start unlocking more bonuses. So you can even have a great career just like I did. Again, like I started, and of course I had to still 2 jobs. Eventually I got rid of my first job, eventually my second job, and now I'm not doing anything else. Well, why would I? I have great diversification. I have precious metals, gold and silver. I have income producing assets. I have a business system, a business marketing platform. So why look for anything else if I have everything already here to build a great lifestyle? So as an affiliate, very simple. You start, you select your package, commit to your 50-year monthly asset accumulation plan. You save, you accumulate real assets, and you, of course, make money from whatever products you market and customers who buy from your e-commerce store. Now, we have different products for different markets. Store is not available in the United States. Very soon, the United States get an amazing product. Can't tell so much about it, but you choose your package. Very simple. Choose your package, you get the platform so that you can buy your gold and silver wholesale. Yeah, that you have, if you wish to sell it back, no fees apply to the gold or silver. So you have storage facility with the most renowned storage facility, no fee. You have a marketing platform, sales funnel, it's all included in your package. And you have your premium education and coaching program. It's all included. You can start from as little 99 up to 3,500. Those are your business packages where your marketing platform is inside. And now I recommend starting higher, at least for 390, because you get more assets in it. Yes. But then we have, of course, packages which are investors packages, which are starting from 9,000 euro onwards to up to 1 million. Why? Well, because they have simply more assets in them. That's why they call investors packages. United States, all packages are actually replaced by precious metals. So very simple, our system. Find 3 others who would also like to own gold or silver or store, and your initial payment is actually offset. And this is what I really like. And if I can share the story we just had yesterday, did to twin brothers here on the call, and really fantastic. Congratulate you. In less than 24 hours, you made more than 220, I think, euros. That is, isn't that great? Less than 24 hours. You're only getting started. Fantastic job. So how can you do that? Well, again, by sharing what we anyway do on a daily basis. We share, we promote products and services we just don't get paid for. How often you invited a friend to, or you talked about a great movie you saw or a great pizza you ate. You just don't get your pizza for free the next time, not even discounted. See, we have fast start referral commissions every time you sell an affiliate packages, or we show and tell, you making a commission, and you have a 14 days money back guarantee. Why would we do that? Have you ever heard about a company who gives you a money back guarantee when you own income producing assets? Now try to buy some Apple shares, and then 14 days later or 12 days later, you say, Apple, oh, apologize, I didn't want to buy those shares, give me the money back. Well, forget about that. They're not going to do it, right? So how would you like to get your own asset accumulation plan for free, or 50 euros monthly? Well, simply refer one person a month, and your monthly is actually covered. You see, you have everything you need to help you succeed. Replicated website, state-of-the-art back office, marketing funnel system, video and multimedia tools, world-class coaching, training calls, events, experienced executive team, global business you can run from anywhere in the world. Really, really fascinating. So €1 a day, you have available to you an opportunity where you can have ownership in real income producing assets, access to wealth protection, such as gold or silver, savings plan denominated in real assets, achieve infinite returns from building your business, have a global business, a marketing platform, earn residual income, have a team of people who work for you, with you for free, and even have tax benefits, because when you own a business, you can actually parts of it claim it back via taxes. So you if you are looking actually, or you're here today on this presentation because you want to pay off your debt, save money, change lives, create generational wealth. Generational wealth means, for generations to come. You see, most of the time, let's say when wealth is acquired, well, the first generation acquires it, the second generations already most of it's gone. In the third generation, it's disappeared because they don't understand what it means generational wealth, gold, silver, income producing assets. So if you're ready, your time to build wealth with passive income starts now. At a time to get in, join us. Go back to the person who invited you to this presentation. Contact your affiliate today. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, and so on. And again, important notice, the business plan, the affiliation plan, the Utopian Global Compensation Plan is an exciting opportunity that rewards you for selling services and for sponsoring other participants to do the same. Although the opportunity is unlimited, individual results will vary depending on your commitment level scales of each participant. So the income projections shouldn't be considered as a guarantee of projections or an actual earning of profits. Success from Utopian Global will result from hard work, dedication, and leadership. I worked hard to get to financial freedom, but it's all worth it. As per terms of condition, the store equity is not licensed for distribution in the United States of America. As a result, this may not be offered, sold, or delivered there. And of course, we have a 14 days money back guarantee. So with that, I want to say thank you guys for listening. If you, have not yet made the decision, or if you are thinking about it, well, I can tell you what, this is time to get to plan B, because we don't know how longer plan E is going to work. And so things are changing. We are living in a different time. Things are challenging for many, many people, and people look for what we have. They need part-time income. So with that, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to go now into Q&As and have our founder and CEO finally coming on board. Bill, I know you had to wait for me so long. Apologize for that. Welcome to the call. And I know we're always going to share some great news with us.
Well, hi, Claudia. It's great to be here, and pretty comprehensive presentation that you did. Welcome everyone joining us. Yes, I'm here for some Q&A. If anyone's got any questions, you can be very direct with us. But everything you say is so true. We're living in a changing world. I was just looking at some different deposit rates around the world today, and I thought, wow, here we have people being penalized for saving. When I grew up, actually, I can remember in the end of the 80s, early 90s, where if you had money in the bank, you were getting a 12% return on your money, which means it encouraged you to save. Well, with zero interest rates around the world, in many parts of the world, I should say, of course, there's no incentive for you to save. And then you factor in inflation, and your money is going actually backwards. So what we have here with Utopian Global is very simple. One is you have the ability to generate an income through the network. Buy into a package, share it with other people, generate commissions. In fact, you can get your assets for free. Secondly, the long-term income that you can build upon is, of course, from our assets such as store. And you can actually, the income generating asset that we have at Raccoon Bend in Texas, and other assets that will come to the table. And of course, we have the gold and silver. But I was looking at Barclays Bank in the UK, and they actually have a children's instant saver program. It's really exciting. Now, I think you mentioned, Claudia, that we have some young people on the call today, some teenagers or young men or women. Congratulations to you, because if you're not involved in programs such as us, you just don't know. You follow to suit what the masses do, and by following what the masses do, it will lead you down the wrong path. You need to have the courage to think outside the box. You need to have the courage to be engaged with different thinking people, and that's exactly what we do here through the leadership of Utopian Global, such as people as Claudia, as Zahir, Sean, all these people all over the world. They're there to actually teach you and support you. This just quickly while you're looking at questions, Claudia, I was looking at this here, the Children's Instant Saver Account. Wow, Children's Instant Saver Account, very stimulating. The first £10,000, you're going to get a 2% return on your money. So you put £10,000 into the bank, locked in, you're going to get £200 a year return on that. Put 10,000 in, you're getting £200 out. That should be pretty exciting for all of you. I'm sure you're celebrating, jumping out of your seat here, hearing that. Then anything above the £10,000 is 0.3%. 0.3%. Now the inflation rate is way beyond that. Now we know governments don't, they report inflation. That's the cost of goods and services going up. But it means your paper money buys less. It's not always accurate what they actually share with us. In the US, we see term deposits or saving rates around 1%. Well, we can show you. Well, let me just talk about this. if you wanted to earn £5,000 per month, or $5,000 a month, or 5,000 euros per month extra income, doing it through term deposit here at 2%, at 1%, 5,000, 60,000 a year, that's $6 million you'd have to have in the bank deposited just to give you a passive income of actually 6,000 per month. Now, if you wanted to generate even just 600 euros per month extra, or 600 pounds extra per month, you'd have to have the equivalent of 60,000 pounds just in the bank, returning you 1%, just to give you that small revenue number of 500 or 600 pounds per month. So we see, even though we need to have, of course, money, we need to be liquid. I'm not saying we should not put money in our banks. What I'm saying is we need to park your money. You need to be diversified, which Claudia spoke about. You have the money in your bank, you're going to be, so you're highly liquid, but you need to be able to put your money into hard assets, whether it's real estate, whether it's businesses that's generating another source of income, whether it's assets like Raccoon Bend, which is going to be a long-term income generating asset. These are really important to do. But when Claudia, I think she showed you the slide about building a network and organization, you know, to earn an extra, even just to earn an extra 50 euros per month at 1%, you've got to have 6,000 euros in the bank for an extra 50. I mean, you can spend 50 going out. If I go out in Zurich with a group of people, let's say 10 people, and we have a cappuccino each, 50 euros is gone, finished. So we're not getting a lot for our money today. But to generate, just to get a return on that, to be able to generate 50 euros per month or 600 per year at 1%, you need to have, as I said, 6,000 in the bank. We can show you very easily. With our system here, you get involved with a package, share it with 3 other people, you're getting ownership of real assets. The 3 people, you already have your money back. You're debt-free, your investment's completely covered. Then build an organization. Share with a few people, go down to a second level. An organization that is as low as 8 people anywhere in your first 2 levels, you're already cash flow positive. Everything above that is money in your bank. You don't have to invest £6,000 or £600,000 to get the returns these banks and some of these institutions want. If you work smart and build a network for your short-term income and compound your wealth, that is where the power is. And in fact, Claudia said before that she worked for a big company, a multi-level market or network marketing company. Actually, it was a nutritional company in Germany. In fact, I met the owners of this company in 1998. We got the rights to bring the company to Germany. Okay, and we built an organization of over 50,000 members, all buying the daily consumables, using them, sharing it with other people. I was living in Australia, running my hotels, but I was generating a 6-figure income on the side while people are washing their hair, using these consumables. So what are we doing here? It's the same sort of thing, except we're not buying lotions and potions or liquids. We're buying real assets. Every month, each person's putting 50 euros in building an organization. Each month, you're either getting your gold and silver or you're getting your store assets. It's part of your assets. And from sharing that, you're actually generating revenues. Believe you me, if you understand the power of compounding, you'll never want to do anything else. Because most people, and for the young people on the call here, I wish I had this knowledge at your age. I grew up on a dairy farm, born in Melbourne, Australia, grew up on a dairy farm. So my ethic was, what I was taught is to work hard. And I still believe you have to work hard, but most importantly, you need to work smart, okay? Is that it won't get you really ahead completely. You can work, most people can work 40 years. From the age of 20, they'll work all the way to 60, 65 or 67, I think it is today. Some places may even be 70. And most people retire just over broke on their pension, maybe a small retirement fund. But you know, when you have all the time freedom, that's when you want to be able to travel. You want to be able to visit your grandchildren, travel around the world. You shouldn't have to worry about money, should you? I mean, you've been worrying about that for 40 years. But most people with the system that we live, that's what happens. So there's nothing wrong with having a job. Let's not misinterpret that. We are here, I believe, to service our fellow humans. We give service, and it's from our service that we actually render a reward, such as an income. So your reward is based on the service that you render and for the product and service that you actually are rendering in that respect. So, you know, for the young people on this particular call today, I do congratulate you for being open and for speaking to your parents about it, being engaged, because we've developed this program. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what level of education that you actually have, even in one sense, your level of wealth, because this program is available for all people, but you have the ability to generate some strong cash flow. Okay, it starts off small, starts off slow, just like when I met the owners of this company in London in 1998, got the rights to take it to Germany. It started off slow for a few years, but bam, you get to that critical sort of number, get things right, you learn what you're doing. Once you get a bit of a team working, the cash flow can change very quick. Now, I think you said on this call that these young people earned a couple of hundred euros already in the first day or 2 days or something.
In the first 24 hours.
Sorry?
In the first 24 hours.
First 24 hours. Well, let's just imagine if they had to put that 200 pounds. Well, I just said to you, on this children's instant saver account, they would have to put 10,000 pounds in a term deposit at 2% to earn that 200. And they've got to wait a year for it. And it's just a one-time payment. These young people here can generate daily. They can do it today. They can do it tomorrow. They can do it the next day. They can do it the day after that. They just repeat what they've done. They model the success. They model the success from you and the other people on this call. You don't have to wait 1 year to get your 2% reward from your 10,000 pounds invested, which is 200. You just earned it in the last 24 hours in the program that we have. Congratulations to you. I get excited about this because I love the concept of being able to compound your wealth. Because if you're not doing that, you're going to work your entire life and be like most people and retire pretty much broke.
Yep.
It's a harsh thing to say, but the numbers tell the truth. That is the reality of it. So any questions, Claudia?
Thank you, Bill. That was a really great insight. There's one question, and that is, and you just sort of covered it already, but that was, well, why did you start the company with gold and silver? Why?
Why is a great question. Well, first of all, I had no understanding about gold and silver. I mean, there's a lot of new people on this call. I haven't spoken about this for quite some time. As I mentioned before, I was raised in Melbourne, lived on a dairy farm. But in 1986, I decided that, 1986, I bought my first business. Okay, and that was a hotel business. Over 20 years, I owned 4 hotels. I also went to London and did this business, which I just spoke about. So I had multiple businesses happening. But in 2003, I sold out of my last hotels completely, and I wanted to invest. One thing I learned, of course, if money's not working for you, it's going backwards. Okay, so I went to Zurich, Switzerland, and met a bullion banker, Philip Judge. He was in the team profile that Claudia spoke about, Philip, earlier on. And he's been a good friend, been a good consultant to us for many, many, many years. In fact, it's 2003, so it's a long time now, of course. And he introduced me to into the world, one, of precious metals. This was in Zurich, and 2, in the energy sector. And I didn't understand gold and silver, but once I understood, at that particular time in my business career, I was all about going out building wealth. When I say building wealth, I wanted to generate the cash flow. But I never really thought about wealth preservation. I never really thought about what is money. I mean, what is money? Or what is a store of value? Well, here in today's presentation, Claudia's already addressed that. Most people don't understand what money is, and that it's all about the store of value. The longer you hold on to your British pound, your euro, or US dollar, any currency, the less it's going to buy it. Well, gold and silver, what I learned back in 2003, it preserves your wealth. It's a small part of your portfolio, maybe 5, maybe 10%. In fact, Philip, the bullion banker back then, told me it was about 3 to 5%. But we're living in a different world today, aren't we? So many of the experts say maybe it should be 10% of your cash or paper wealth should be held in physical metals. We know some hedge funds are actually doing even more than that around the world today. So we know central banks, Russia, we know China, of course, Turkey. So a lot of the central banks around the world are holding lots of gold as their cornerstone of true wealth. So when I learnt this in Zurich in 2003, it morphed into the concept. I didn't know this. No one taught me about money. Okay. So I wanted to actually develop a program, and it really started off with a concept called Joseph Wealth Systems. That's what we started off as back in 2008, without going into a long story. Many of you may be familiar with the story of Joseph and the Pharaoh from the Old Testament, where the Pharaoh had a dream, and of course Joseph interpreted that dream that ancient Egypt was going to go through a period of 7 years of prosperity, then followed by 7 years of famine. So what was their plan? To save some of the productivity of the nation. So they took 20% of the nation's productivity, grains and different things, and they stored it. But think about, that's 5,000 years ago, whatever. Come back to today. We've been through the greatest economic expansion in history, unprecedented, around the world today. But how many of us are savers? Most people live from debt. Most people live from credit cards. Not many people are savers. Now, this COVID-19 is a wake-up call. How many people have been caught out? Maybe they have maybe they have one paycheck of saving. Maybe they're only one paycheck of not being able to pay their mortgage or their rent or their car. Maybe they're only one paycheck of going broke, because most people are not savers. Now, even farmers, I grew up on a farm, we were savers in one sense. In fact, credit cards and things didn't exist. And in fact, my parents would say, we need to buy machinery, you need to buy your school clothes, we have to produce, generate wealth. We can't get that from a credit card or something. We don't have the cash, we can't buy it, just the way it is. Well, it's a very different world today. So that's why I actually planned, that's why we deployed Joseph Wealth Systems back in 2008, was really to educate people in the whole concept about wealth preservation, about getting their mindset into basic fundamentals about being savers, being producers, generate your cash flows, put some of that into hard-earned assets for a long term. Gold and silver is an insurance policy. And that's really what I learned from that. And I've been a gold and silver buyer ever since. I know Claudia has as well. In fact, she's very smart. She converts her commissions into gold and silver. This is what you can do here with our particular program. And also that particular meeting in 2003, I was introduced to an energy fund, which led me to go to a meeting in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana in the USA, where I met Ryan Messer for the very first time, who's our store CEO today. So I've known him for many, many, many years in business, and I invested a large amount into some oil and gas, natural resources in that sector back in 2004. I've been involved with him ever since. I know Claudia, when I met her in 2006, we spoke about gold and silver. We spoke about natural gas and oil assets. And for her, it was a no-brainer too. What really got me is that all of you here probably drive cars, except probably the 16-year-olds. Maybe you're still driving like I used to. But anyway, you put fuel into the car, it's a cost to you, isn't it? But being able to position yourself on the supply side of the supply chain, that's what you're doing as being part of store. You're now a producer. You get the benefit of being an owner in that particular sector, and of course you win from that as well. So I thought, to me, that sounds like a great investment. So I've been involved with that since that period of time. This is what we're offering our members around the world. But mind you, we believe in the renewable sector. The world's changing, but we also know it's going to take time for the fossil fuels to peter out, and we've got some strong reserves there for the next 25 years. And many of the reports that we look at is that the global demand for energy is going to continue to increase. The world population is going to grow by another 2 billion people between now and 2050. They're all going to want to have energy, flick a switch, turn a light on. Of course, so there's going to be still demand, but of course, the cleaner world is the way to go. That is the direction that we certainly support.
Thank you, Bill.
It's a long answer for a short question.
Thank you, Bill. Great answer, though. I'm not sure if you see me. I can't see that I have the camera on anymore, so maybe I have to switch it off and to turn it on again. But unable to share webcam. Okay, doesn't matter. So there's a question coming actually from here from Alex, I believe, from Kenya. So regarding store, that is regarding, of course, the oil prices. Obviously, with COVID, they went down. Does it have an effect? And then there's another question coming on where do you see the company in the next 5 to 10 years?
Hey, Alex, I know exactly who you're speaking about. A very nice, positive young man in Nairobi. So great to have you on the call. I'm glad that you actually joined us. Yes, of course, these are commodities. So commodity pricing is certainly going to affect the revenues of our company. Now, I actually had a call with Ryan today with a banker. And fortunately, this this pandemic, and of course we actually saw the oil price go into negative terms in respect to the futures contracts. But we had I think our average price that we ended up getting, I think for the month of May, if I remember correctly, I think it was April or May, was $16 a barrel, incredibly low. In fact, one period for a day there, it went into negative pricing. But we actually had a hedging in place. So we had, I think, at least 50% of our production hedged at $50 a barrel with British Petroleum. And that actually expires up until the end of, those hedges will finish at the end of this particular month. But I know our team, headed by Ryan Messer, and the financial company they work with, are in the position of already applying new hedges to roll over into the month of August, etc. They won't get $50 a barrel, but they'll be getting 40. And at 40, we're making money. No question about that. In fact, Ryan will speak about this in one of our calls in the next, I would say the next 2 weeks. He's actually, before the end of this month, we're definitely bringing him on. He's busy right now because we want to start paying out the distributions, of course, from revenues from the month of July onwards. Of course, that will be audited and payable at the end of August. So there's a lot going on. So to answer your question, Alex, yes, of course, pricing does affect it, but we do have a hedging mechanism in place to protect that on the downside. Okay, there's a whole reason why that went into negative pricing. Those contracts went into negative pricing, but I don't think I need to go into that right now.
No.
The other question was where we're going to be in 5 years. Well, as I said, I had a call with Ryan today, and I also had a meeting afterwards with a banker here in Dubai. I see that we're going to be able to offer a lot of interesting projects to our members around the world. You know, if you're getting 1% or 0.3% free money out of banks and things, I mean, why would you even bother doing it? But if you can be involved with a trusted company that's having real ownership of real assets, and we have legal documents that actually give you the legal ownership over the asset, such as the private placement memorandum document that we have, which is drafted by Mike Wiglio out of Houston, just like a share certificate. We have paper saying that you own those shares, you own equity or shares in that particular company, and they're going to be paying out rewards or distributions, or in that sense. It's a fantastic diversification. So I see our company growing consistently, a nice growth pattern over the next years. The world's changing dramatically, but you know what? Crisis also means opportunity. If you're involved with the right team, if you're liquid, there's always means you can buy assets at discount price. And this is really what we're looking at. We're actually looking at some very exciting projects. These projects are longer term, to be quite honest. I mean, some of these projects are just even a year. And by the time you actually do the development, it could be a 2-year program before they even start producing. But there's long-term projects. I mean, they're going to pay up for 10, 20 years in one respect. So the 5-year plan, very, very, very strong. The key right now is of course, consolidating, making sure that we manage the Raccoon Bend efficiently. We cut off. I know Ryan will speak about it. I know that they stopped a couple of wells as though they took too much energy to actually for the production they were producing. So we were able to get our lifting cost per barrel down to around, I think it was around $16 or $17 per barrel. So it means anything above that, we're actually we're cash flow positive, which is fantastic. Most companies, they do probably 30. The US is probably, for bigger companies, is probably $50 a barrel. So, and they can even get it down lower than that. But now they're starting to bring some of these wells back on because the oil price is getting back up to 40s. It means some of these wells that, of course, are more costly to operate will go back online because there's 156 wells. I think there's 96 or 98 of them producing. There'll be more coming on. Times some of them stop. In fact, Ryan at the bank was speaking about this the other day. Look, out of the 156 wells, no more than 13% of the production is from any one particular well. Well, that's fantastic. Because just imagine you've got 96 wells, and 90% of the reserves comes from one well, and something happens to that, bam, your cash flow is gone. Well, out of these reserves, out of these wells, any one well doesn't have any more than 13 or 14% of the daily production. So it's a really strong, long-term asset to actually have. And we really look forward, moving forward, to be able to pay out all of us investors, congratulations to you, who are store owners over the next months and many years to come. So, but we will talk more about that before the end of the month. It's lots to do, and there's been a lot to manage during 2020, as all of you have had to manage a lot in this changed world, I'm sure, from employment to families, how we live. And of course, on the operational side, we've also had to manage many things, and haven't been able to travel to do some of the business deals that we wanted. So many things have been pushed back. It doesn't matter. We're strong, we're focused, and we have great assets there which are producing and haven't stopped all throughout this particular process. And Brian will speak about that.
Thank you, Bill. So really, really great. We are on the hour. I have actually 1 minute after the hour, but I really appreciate you coming on the call. I know we have planned or scheduled in the near future something with Philip Judge as well. You said it's going to be great. I'm not going to talk about so much about it. We're going to announce it, of course, probably. But yes, so it's exciting, fantastic. Again, I congratulate you all that you stayed 1 hour on the call. If you did stay, we had it also on live stream, so Facebook, on YouTube. Thank you for all your listeners there. And again, Bill, thank you, and hope that you got a lot of great information, content out that you can make an informed decision to either proceed or not proceed with us. So thank you so much, Bill, and thank you as well for your precious time, and good night to you in Dubai.
Thanks, Claudia. Good night to everyone, and thank you for being here and supporting us, and the trust that you have in us. And be safe, and blessings to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Where is my StreamYard? There you go. Good night, everybody.